Hello, everyone, and welcome to ZSR Main. Today we have another Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup tournament match here. Group B between Quizbowl and Liam Atlas. I'm starting with me on commentary is Tyler Salt. How are you doing?
Good morning, Star. I'm doing great. Excited for this race. These are two of my group mates in the Challenge Cup. So I had to sign up for this one for sure. And we've got some Mick Boss for you. Maps and compasses are shuffled and bosses are shuffled.
Ourselves, I believe these are both new. I think this may be our first time featuring either runner on Restream.
Both
Should
of
be
these
an
guys,
interesting
yeah.
one.
Both of these guys have been around for a while. Quizbowl's been around for a while. Liam has been around for quite a bit, actually. Took a couple years off in between, but has been around for longer than me, which isn't saying a ton, but is a reasonable amount. So excited to see the show that these guys put on. Our group is super tight standings wise, so every remaining race is going to have a huge effect on the standings and on who qualifies for brackets.
So let's see. Should be looking forward to this one. So MC Boss Shuffle. It is this is full boss shuffle. So all the bosses are shuffled amongst each other, and 3 random bosses will appear twice. And then it is also map compass shuffles, so they won't know what maps and which are dungeons or crystals or pendants until they find the maps.
And a new feature with Compass Shuffle in Enemizer is that the compasses, if you check the in-dungeon map screen, the compass will tell you what the boss is for that dungeon, which is a nice feature. I notice, I'm looking at these guys' trackers, neither of them is using an Enemizer tracker, which is potentially problematic. So we'll see how they handle it. I know it looks like, I suppose I don't know whether Liam is. He's got the emo tracker broadcast view up, and if he's using a different pack other than the normal one, he might be able to do that. But as we see our runners get started, both of them find 5 rupees in the first 2 chests.
Yep. So minor early divergence. Liam heading forward. The uncle as Quizbowl heads off towards Lost Woods, Kakariko general area. Pretty much your regular openings. Nothing new.
Liam not doing the not picking up the sign, not doing the tree pull, which is interesting. Just a piece of heart from Uncle. 20 rupees, well, 5 rupees 4 times from the Tier 1 tree pull for Quizbowl. Bush Crab will give us more 5 rupees. All right, so that's pretty good. He's going to chase those down. He'll get 50 rupees for bombs.
First sword on the uncle chest on Liam's side. Very nice.
Is that French vanilla?
Yes it is. As we see, what is that?
It's a map, I believe. Yep, that's a map.
Okay, that's a map. I was like, that's something yellowish and rounded bottom, but I can't quite tell what that is. Chad asking about what our current sub goal is. That is Trez versus What the Hell's Happened, the winner of the Ocarina of Time Season 4 main tournament, doing a no logic race. What the Hell's Happened being the runner's name. As it just decided. Looks like more nothing in the Lost Woods. Heart container's nice, but otherwise, the sword's the only thing of interest you've seen so far.
Chat making a good point. You get a sword on the uncle start and then don't go right into escape. It's interesting. That's...
So far, no bombs have shown up for either runner, so going to need to either hopefully find some or buy some, it looks like.
Both of them will have money to buy bombs between the tree pole and the bush crab and that 20 rupees there in the thieves hideout. So we will be doing that.
No pearl in the back of the bar.
So it's not, first of all, be nice to these runners. They're both good. I've played them both. and both of them are good. But also, it is not full. It's not full Enemizer. The regular enemies are vanilla. It is the bosses that are shuffled. So it's like a Dark Escape in Enemizer, not in the cards today.
Yep. Alright. So you've got yourself a glove and some money in the well. As well as the map to Geddon's Tower. Thanks, and some money.
Yeah, map's actually useful here in this mode, but not that one. So
No, not that one.
yeah, so far a glove and a pearl is nice, but not any progression in Kakariko Village yet. Although this is going to be our first look at Blind's Hut here on Liam's side. Not much in the first 4 chests. Although again, that compasses are actually useful in this mode. Not only do they give you, oh, there's our hammer. Oh man, 5th minute Dark World access. How about that, Star?
Okay, game. Okay.
What do you do in this situation? I'm always tempted to go right into the Dark World here, but 3 hearts, 4 hearts, green mail, fighter sword. Whew, man.
I think you at least clear the rest of Kakariko, but then the thing becomes: do you go straight to the village? Do you continue south?
I don't think that you guys can see it, but I can see Quizbowl's face on his stream picking up that hammer. He's just like, oh man, I don't know. Threw up his arms in disgust.
It's an awkward situation for sure this early in the game to have Dark World access from Kak.
Now, if I had the mirror, totally different story.
Yeah, the mirror makes it a lot simpler to just to do both at the same time, efficiency, but without the mirror it's a little trickier as you find just a single arrow on the library.
Quiz is going to check the race game here for a map, and not interested in that.
No.
Looks like Quiz is headed, looks like probably towards South Shore here.
Looks like it.
Well, it took out the hammer. Might be headed to Hype Cave first.
Yeah, looks like it.
And looks like he is, yeah.
Liam doing a race game blind is going to get some information here. Maybe.
Yeah, it could be Hyrule Castle.
That's the map to Desert. Well, that is useful.
Yep. I like the Hype Cave check here from Quizbowl. Desert Palace is a blue crystal today. Guess we get a Quake Medallion in Hype Cave, along with a bunch of trash and a bottle. Bottle's nice.
Bottle is nice, the rest of it, yawn.
300 rupees, always nice to find in the early game. Gets you closer to Zora money. Liam is not following that Dark World access super early. He's going to stick with the normal opening and do Dam and the rest of South Shore.
Quizbowl not checking the bomb shop for the red crystal locations?
It's I try to remember to do that, but if you don't play a ton of map shuffle or keys, it can be hard to remember that for sure. There's another big pile of money on Stumpy. Dam comes up empty. But I like this play. It's kind of equivalent to do Hype Cave over to Dig Game or do South Shore. It's pretty close to the same number of items. You get 1 extra on South Shore if you make the walk over to Ice Rod Cave. But I like it because you're going to save and quit out of Dig Game anyway. with without the mirror or the mitts. So, but just a piece of heart from Dig Game.
Yeah. Got a powder in the mini Moldorm Cave and not a lot else.
Oh man, Magic Bat calling the siren song of Magic Bat here with hammer and powder early. I get suckered in by that anytime.
Oh yeah, definitely something to consider.
That and early book are the two things that get me every single time, and it never works, but I will continue to do it.
Also, I completely missed where Quake was. Whoops.
Quake was in Hype Cave.
It was doing something on the back end of the restream, so let's check of that slightly. Which reminds me, let's don't forget to give our runners here a follow. Quizbowl and Liam Atlas, to my co-com Tyler Salt, and to our tracker today, Siberian.
Yay, trackers! Everybody loves a tracker.
Work always appreciated. So let's go in chat while we're watching.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Quizbowl taking a death to the mini Moldorms here, and having some issues with the bombs, and then takes a death. Ouch.
Yeah, not fun. That middle one can be tricky for sure. If I've got and he hasn't been up to Uncle yet, so he doesn't have a sword. He doesn't have that sword that's on the secret passage chest.
Yep.
All right, so our runners basically following each other's footsteps. Next, we've got a bunch of Dark World open to us. I would imagine a Thieves Town play is coming next.
I'd expect so. It's a dungeon that's got at least 3 items accessible in it. It is Boss Miser, so who knows what the actual boss is in it, but it's an early dungeon to do. Looks like we got a map check that Ice Palace is a regular crystal for Liam.
And Quiz has taken all that money and is going to do some Zora or some Flippers checks. Head up here, check out Lake Hylia Island, whereas it looks like Liam is indeed headed over towards Village of Outcasts. There are the mitts on Lake Hylia Island.
To clarify, Tyler and I are not playing this seed. We are watching 2 other people play this seed and talking about it. Quizbowl is on the left, Liam Atlas on the right. Tyler and I are sitting on opposite coasts of the US. I'm on the East Coast, Tyler's on the West. We are just sitting in a Discord voice call chatting about this, as we find not much in the back of Escape.
Or on Hobo. So Quiz is going to head over to the Zora area, going to be able to get at least, going to be able to get 3 of those items.
And yes, we've got a German tracker. Very international community. It's actually quite nice they've got such a variety of people.
Yeah, it's great. Quiz does not have the means to get the The ledge item here on Zora does not have what he needs to do. Splash delete, no flippers, but he will be able to get these 2 waterfall fairy items and whatever is on the big fish today. We've got a piece of heart and 20 rupees there. So far the big thing that we've gotten from these slipper checks is knowledge that the mitts are on Lake Hylia Island.
It's pretty good to have.
It is pretty good to have, that's for sure. We're going to need that mirror at some point.
That's a blue mail they're probably never getting on Zora Ledge.
Definitely not. Here's Magic Bat, the Siren Song, just $50.
Nope. So. Now, is Zora going to be a helpful person, or is he going to be a giant scam as the usual?
Probably the usual, let's be honest. But, like, probably, if you think about it, every check, odds are, it's garbage. And there it is.
That is, in fact, garbage. Heart piece. Sometimes it's useful. I think I completed a match this week where he gave us a mushroom that turned up boots, which were very much needed. That was yesterday. Boots, shroom on Zora, boots on the shroom, and oh, good luck, have fun. You need those boots for that boom pearl on Lumberjack.
Oh, jeez.
Pretty sure I had a shovel record off Zora the other day, too. He's usually a scam until he isn't, and then you're in for fun.
Then everybody feels bad. But at least the game gave us a bunch of rubies early on, so we didn't have to worry about it. Alright. Looks like our runners are probably going to be converging here. Oh, no, I was wrong. Quiz is not following that Dark World access over into the Village of Outcasts. He's going to go do Uncle and Escape first.
Yep, May is looking for items. Doesn't quite want to do thieves with just a hammer, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be rewarded with this sword here at the secret passage. We'll probably almost certainly take this into Escape as Liam drops into Skull Woods here.
Yep, this is a decent play. Got several accessible items here. With Map Compass Shuffle, there are 4 items in Skull Woods. Minimum 2 accessible, as many as 4 possible, though we did just get a small key. And there's a shovel, speaking of things.
Pro tip, walk right by this pit chest first. Get the pot prison chest, and then come back and get the pit chest. It's a little easier. You don't have to worry about the pits for as long.
Yep. And there's the big key. 1 item, big key, small key so far. This is a bow. Number 2. And falls in the pit.
Always do the front of Skull Woods. That's my motto. Now, unfortunately, Liam Atlas taking a death here, and because he dropped in, he's going to have to walk all the way back around. Don't drop into Skull Woods, kids. Just take the front door.
Yeah, because this is
as a matter of fact,
long trip.
Do the middle first, and you can steal a key.
I think Quizbowl on the other side got the small key in the first check of Escape, and is just continuing through now.
Guards are in the full magic drop, or the full magic pack. Liam was hoping for that occasional fairy drop from one of those 3 bushes there. Nice ball and chain guard there. 1 pot, 1 hit with the hammer.
Very nice. Just a green rupee. Leaves a bomb on there. A couple of bombs here to just death warp. There we go. And this here is the final check in Skull Woods for Liam without a fire rod, giving us another small key. So there are 2 items in the back.
But we do get that bow from the front of Skull Woods, which is quite nice.
is you would probably like to see a mirror soon to be able to chain Easter and Pod together. Although we also have no crystal information for either.
And no fire either. So
That too.
limits the amount of those dungeons that's in logic. Still both potentially completable depending on who the boss is. Again, this is Mick Boss, so maps and compasses are shuffled, and there's full boss shuffle, which if you missed start explaining it earlier or need a refresher, means that all of the bosses are shuffled, and there are 3 bosses that will appear twice, and there are some limitations on what bosses can appear in what spots, and we can talk about that if it becomes relevant.
Just the Red Rupee and Dark Cross, so the Sword-Off Uncle being the only thing of actual interest in the escape today, both front and back. As like you're seeing, there was just a map on Bumper Ledges, get a heart container and C-shaped house. And currently we have limited ability to beat bosses too. Kind of to short both rods.
Yeah, so we can beat any of the bosses that require particular items to beat, we're not going to be able to beat, as we find a cane in the brewery. So we can't beat an Argus, we can't beat a Cold Stare, and we can't beat a Trinex. We can beat anything else. No, excuse me, can't beat, yeah, I did say Cold Stare. So we can beat Armos Knights, Flanmo, Moldorm, Helma, Moth, and Blind. There's a Bombos medallion in chess game.
I still don't know. Automod decided to yell at me about Armos. I actually don't remember. I don't know why Automod flags that.
Yeah, it always gets me every time.
And yeah, Thieves Town now for Lee. I'm going to get the map of, well, gee, thanks, Hyrule Castle. So that's both useless maps found already. Both that the GT1 showed up a little bit ago. Hopefully don't die. And there's a mirror.
There we go. He's gonna take the death here, which is, you know what, if you're gonna take a death in the front of Thieves Town, that's not a terrible place for it.
No, relatively early before you do the other chests. Because there are a lot of things running around here, and it might better take the death early than to take it on the third chest.
Yeah, if you're worried about it. Now, Quizbowl is gonna get that mirror in Thieves Town, and he knows right where the mitts are. So he could sequence break those mitts. Of course, the Lake Hylia Island check requires the flippers logically to check, but oh wait, no, he's gonna need. Ooh, no, that he won't be able to get that right away without the. I suppose there is a spot in the Dark World, North Lake Hylia, where you can do a splash delete to get into the water, but it's not like you can take the Ice Red Cave spot and fake flipper in the Dark World. Hard to get there.
Yeah, I was like, can he actually do a fake flipper?
Yeah, so I think once he gets this bow right here, he'll be able to splash delete to get it. We'll see if he does something like that.
Mm-hmm. It is something that's going to be on his mind, at least.
And we'll see when Liam finds that out.
So far, turning the mirror and little else.
Hey, the mirror's good. Mirror's really good. That makes the Thieves Town play worth it, even if this is a pendant, which we don't know. Choosing to do the back first, which you can go either way. In Animizer, you don't need to blow up the floor here, or in Boss Shuffle, you don't need to blow up the floor here. We'll see if he does.
Yeah. That's probably not intentional, because we're taking a death in this
No,
game.
definitely not intentional. He is going to blow up the floor. You don't need to do this in Boss Shuffle, because even if it is blind, the maiden won't be there, and blind will just show up in there, making the blind fight significantly more difficult in full in Boss Shuffle modes, because you can't do the script.
Nope.
But some runners will choose to, in Boss Shuffle, you can just walk right into the boss room. It is about it is about 5 seconds faster if you're going to do the back anyway, it's about 5 seconds faster to do it the normal way rather than to check the boss right away. So it depends on how many items you got in the front, whether you got the small key or not, that sort of thing.
Yeah, also, the Quizbowl getting wall mastered there. Yow. To stay right now in the front of Skullwoods, unfortunately. Oh, hey, that's...
Hey, you know what? It's a crystal. That's a good thing to find, and it means that the small key is locked in the big chest, so...
Yes, it is convenient information. It's just funny that in Map Compass Shuffle, the Thieves Town map is still in Thieves. Good game.
Is this even randomized TM?
Indeed. Oh boy, they've got a throwing Bulldorp here. That's a
That is not enough eyes. I understand why it's a random number of eyes, but it should be always 5 eyes or more.
Indeed. It is. So that is a quirk of all forms of boss miser. I still yike. Twizzle taking another death in front of Skullwoods. Yikes.
That one was intentional, I think, because he hadn't gotten the big chest yet, and it was only on 1 heart. So choosing he's too low on this one. This is gonna. Oh no, he wasn't too low. I thought he was too low on that. Gonna get the key here.
Yeah. That is intentional here as well. But yeah, one of the quirks of Boss Miser is that Moldworm will have a randomized number of eyes between 1 and 8, and that will be the same for all Moldworms in the seeds.
It should be different every time.
There is 3 bosses that are repeated, and the rest are 1 each, so we'll see if we find a second Moldworm. If so, that will be a 3-eyed.
Liam is headed over, having cleared everything he can out of Skull Woods and having full cleared Thieves Town, gotten his first crystal, is going to come over here with that mirror and check out Graveyard Ledge. We'll see if he does a kern jump over towards Catfish here, which is possible. It's not a sequence break here because we have the hammer, and so the right side of the Dark World is in logic. But he's just going to save and quit out of here.
Yeah.
So I would say Liam with the early lead here, largely because Quizbowl did the front of escape, Quizbowl did the front of escape and did not, and Liam did not. So so far that working out in his favor.
This is going to be the eastern area now for Liam. Since he did just see, oh, that's a pair of mitts.
Now this is also interesting. Doing Saha here with the mirror, I think that would have made more sense, I think, to go into the Dark World here and then mirror over to Saha when you're headed to Pod. But we do learn that Eastern Palace is the green pendant, vanilla green pendant today.
Yep, got ourselves a map to Meyer as our second bogland, $50. But yeah, I was curious that Liam would choose to do it in this order.
Maybe Liam not super interested in doing Pod without a fire source.
Perhaps. He is heading straight into Eastern here. So, which tells me he probably isn't planning on Pod right now, and also does not have the reward information for that yet. In the Skullwoods for Newstown, sorry, for Quizbowl is to get a cape in the front of in the first chest of Eastern.
We'll see what Quizbowl does here, boss-wise. And he is also going to do the back first, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's 5 seconds either way, so it's not really a big deal. You know, kind of personal preference, and with there still being so many bosses that we can't beat, and being so early in the seed that we're in Thieves Town, makes a lot of sense to go and do these checks first, right? Like, what if it's an Argus here and the hookshot is just banging around in the attic or in the basement?
Right. As you get some bumps and compass chest to be streamed for Liam.
Have we seen the big key yet in Eastern? I don't think so. Oh, maybe it looks like we have, because he's headed there. Must have been in the compass chest.
Yep. So that's a herpes.
The map chest, rather.
There is an out-of-logic item on the big key chest.
Yeah, we'll see if Liam decides to head back to the boss. With this being the green pendant and it being Eastern, I would imagine he'll take a peek at it. Just in case it's Landmo or Armos or something like that he can actually beat. And since it's the green pendant and we're right here, would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. They are still missing quite a number of items for Gomo. The big, of course, pending exact crystal layout, but they are missing a bunch.
Yep.
Definitely need well, kind of depends what our final pendants are, but
well, we're definitely going to need the flippers and mitts. So at a minimum. So
we do definitely need those. We need desert access, which well, mitts basically. Of course, whenever we need to kill bosses, which is going to depend on where those end up.
We're probably going to need the hook shot. Probably going to need the fire rod.
Exactly.
And Liam is going to give the back of Eastern a shot. Very nicely handled there in the dark. That's a pretty accessible dark room, but it can definitely be tricky. If you kind of get like a little bit off, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult, more difficult than you think to aggro that right hand. I forget what those guys are called. That guy.
Green ones, Igors?
Igors, thank you. Very nice Zelda gamer room by Liam. Alright, we'll see where Quizbowl heads next. Is in Sanctuary, gonna mirror out.
That's a Helmasaur.
Hey, we can beat him. 19 whacks to the face with a hammer. 17. 17.
I was gonna say, I don't think it's 19. There we go.
And Quizbowl is taking that mirror and hammer and is going to sequence break his way up the mountain.
He is. That's Helmasaur down for Liam. Was this worth it? I mean, we still may get a Helmacopter there. It is full boss shuffle. Helma could be one of the 3 bosses repeated as we get nothing and a green pendant.
Alright, so he's going to turn that green pendant in right away. And we shall see if this was worth it or a big waste of time. Nothing of any note in the chests in Eastern. That green pendant could still be required.
Yeah, the cape, I guess, was in there.
Cape's nice. There's nothing on Bumper Ledge, but
no, I mean, no Agus dead. The Spike Cave technically could find a way. He is going to take that portal to Paw now to get the Compass of Skullwoods off of the old man.
And perhaps realizing after the fact that he could have done this first and then just mirrored over and turned in the green pendant and checked the Saha stuff. But maybe he was looking for the lamp. I don't know.
His choice in any case.
All right. Nothing of note from the old man. We see 20 rupees up on top of Spec Rock as Liam is making his way into pod. Inside of Spec Rock is the hook
That's a
shot.
hook shot.
All right.
Liam is not skipping the turn, and he will mirror to Sahasa on his way to pod here.
Hopefully. All right, yes. Does Liam not use Quick Swap? That's entirely possible. Like I said, Liam came back to Rando for this Challenge Cup after taking basically the entire pandemic off. And so when he was playing the most Rando in his career, he Quick Swap was not allowed. So it's entirely possible that he's just not using it because he's not used to it.
Yeah, it does take some getting used to. Blue mail on Saha. We did know the red mail is on Sorrel Edge. Blue mail there, nice to have, especially because they still only have 6 hearts each.
Yeah, and that very well might mean that Quiz is going to be doing this entire seed on green mail. Because he's already been up to the Zora area, is not going to get the mail upgrade there, and entirely possible that he doesn't do Eastern Palace. So, especially if something spicy is here in pod.
Oh, for sure, as we get just the small key in the first chest. Time for Hera for Quizbowl. And a big key in the first check. Speaking of things they need for Go mode, they do definitely need a second sword. Where that is, who knows, but that is required to beat Ganon. Yeah. So with MC Boss, if we find the small key, there will be an item in the basement.
Quiz is setting up a Hera pot here. Is not getting it. Trying the Philly pot setup, I believe. A little confused as to why it's not working.
Yeah.
And so am I. If this isn't the setup that I'm super familiar with, he's gonna have to take the climb here.
Yeah, runs out of bombs, and it wasn't working for him.
And down to 1 heart anyway. So there's some bombs. No, that hammer hit, that up-down hammer hitbox.
Yeah, the hammer hitbox is a little funky in the vertical access.
Gotta remember that Link is left-handed, unless it's inconvenient for him to be left-handed.
Yep. Pod big key chest, just a heart piece, and besides that, keys, and more keys as is expected.
Was that the 5 key front? Oh no, this isn't gonna work out for. Yeah, Quiz is gonna have to take a fall here, because you hook shot. If you hook shot over to that platform without the boots, you're not gonna be able to make it back. But with only 1 bomb, might be faster to do that than to go upstairs and do the vanilla fall down there.
Okay, Master Sword in the pod, compass chest.
Hey, that's good.
Yep, and Quizbowl did find the small key to Hera in the Hera compass chest, so that is a item in the basement.
That he's gonna have to leave there, unless we find the fire rod or lamp up here.
Okay, another Moldorb 3-eyed again, vanilla. Also got half magic in the pod U room, very nice. And there's the big key. That's both Moldworms for today. First boss to be repeated. We've only seen 3 so far. That's Trolldorm being a troll as always, taking the fall on Quizbowl's side.
Yeah, Quiz has better hope that he finds something here on Moldorm, or at least a crystal, because he's had a time here in Tower of Hera.
This has not been kind, unfortunately. He's found nothing in it.
1, 2, 3.
Alright, Moldorm's down. $50 for Liam. Well, it's a fighter shield.
And it's a pendant. Oh, that's unfortunate. So we're still looking for logical mountain access. Quiz sequence broke up here. We still need the lamp or the flute. Neither of our runners has been to Agina. It's possible that the lamp or flute is just hanging out there.
Liam is having a time in the pod maze, trying to find his way to the second chest and then the big key chest. I think he's got it. Yeah, 10 arrows.
The nice thing about the pod dark maze is that you can just use diagonal inputs, and it's fine.
Does get through, doesn't find much of anything in the back. Double magic's nice, or half magic, I guess. That's about the only thing I've seen here in the pod so far.
And
double
he's gonna go.
I'm scanning some boots in Spiral Cave.
Some out-of-logic boots in Spiral Cave. That's nice.
That's very nice quality of life.
Liam gonna try to do a dark turtle room. Probably the hardest dark room in the game here, with no fire rod. Is a very aggressive play. Especially not knowing if you can beat this boss and not knowing if it's a pendant or a crystal. Liam and I had this exact situation in our race the other day in this mode, in which I won by a couple minutes. And I was faced with this exact situation, decided to skip this boss fight. It ended up being a crystal, but I was able to come back later. But this is a lot of time and a lot of danger to potentially to invest into a check that might not be required, but could very easily lead to a death in Turtle Room. He does have the Quake medallion, which should help a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But
oh, Quiz, getting the map of Hera just after beating it, as well as a map to TR, the compass to TR, and the compass to Desert and Paradox. No actual items of interest though.
Yeah, but we did get the boots over there, so that's pretty nice. As Quiz remembers that he has them, good. All right, he's gonna go check Bonk Rocks here. All right, let's see how this Dark Turtle room goes for Liam. Oh, he is just gonna spam medallions here. Got 3 of them. Blue mail helps for sure.
Half magic proving useful as well. And there we go.
Pretty nicely done. Play it safe. You make it through. That's what counts.
Exactly. This is a shovel check for Quizbowl.
Where was that shovel? Was that up on the mountain?
Skullwood's front.
Skullwood's front. Okay. Just 20 rupees though.
Rupee.
Yeah. All right, let's see if this is worth it for Liam.
Oh, hi,
that's a tough place for blind too. Does have a red potion. Gonna have to throw it immediately. Does have a cape and a green, so should be able to manage this. But with those spikes up there in this arena, this is not the easiest place for a blind fight.
No, it is not.
Just kind of wait until blind gets down to the bottom of the screen here. Gonna save a little bit of magic on this cape. With the cape, should be okay. Very nicely done.
There we go. Was sprinting off to pyramid ledge now. Neither of them checking.
Oh, and it's a
bomb shot.
pendant for a compass.
Oh, no.
Hey, you know what? Head is just sitting there.
Head is sitting there, and it's quite
it'll
accessible. Not in
it'll
Logic
be
till
in-
we get a
yeah,
lamp.
It'll be in Logic once we find a lamp or the flute. But
Well,
looks
no,
like-
Pod specifically requires a lamp.
oh, that's true. So yeah, so we'll need the lamp for that, and the lamp or the flute for Hera. Quizbowl headed
Early
over to the
bow-
Pod Eastern area.
Yeah, early bow, early mirror, and Pod Eastern both dead. Yep, that is a red crystal mire.
Oh, vanilla red crystal mire.
Yeah, but this feels bad there for Liam, and Quiz is looking to make the same play to Pod Eastern and find. Well, Master Sword is good. Half Magic and Cape are nice, but not the greatest haul ever for 2 pendants.
Yeah. All 3 pendants are currently out of Logic, but again, the lamp could be anywhere, right? Which would put all 3 of them in Logic. So the lamp could very easily just be sitting on Agina, which neither of our runners have bid to, and is Sphere 1.
Yeah. I mean, the pendant's got to be somewhere at this point.
Right.
As
now, Liam,
we've seen the front of
go ahead.
Skull Woods, we can't do Desert, can't do Swamp, Ice, Mire, or TR. Currently it's mostly overall checks to do.
Yeah, it's Catfish and Agina, really.
Yeah, I think it might be, honestly. Yeah, we've seen everything else.
All right, we got another map check from Quizbowl. TR is a regular pendant. So really, we know all the remaining dungeons are crystals. Yes, sorry, a red crystal. We know all the remaining dungeons are crystals. We don't know which one is the other red crystal, because neither of our runners has been to the bomb shop yet, despite both of them walking by it.
Yeah, I wonder how familiar either of them are with Map Compass Shuffle. Liam has played at least one before, because you played it against him.
Yes.
I don't know how much Quiz has played this mode.
I don't think that Quiz has had it yet, if I'm not mistaken.
They did list their modes so far in brackets, in groups in the race room. He has not played it in this tournament. I don't know if he has much experience with it in general.
Presumably he'll have practiced it.
Yeah. Because it is a little interesting that neither runners bothered checking the bomb shop.
It can be easy to forget. You don't think about going over there until you've got the red crystals. Yeah, if you're not used to playing Key Sanity or Map Shuffle. So Agina is the only... Unless I'm mistaken, Agina is the only in-logic check. Agina has to have progression at this point. Either the lamp or the flute or something leading to the lamp or the flute. Could be the flippers to get us the mitts.
Yeah, could be flippers. Could be a mushroom.
Could be the fire rod to get us to the back of Skull Woods, maybe.
Mm-hmm. There's a few. Could be the book.
Yeah, book to get the book to bring us into desert. Book would also get us Bombos tablet. Put that in logic. Could be mushroom. A lot of things that it could be. Liam does not know that it's Agina yet because he has not done the front of Skull Woods, or front of Escape rather. So he's going to be giving some time back to Quiz here with these checks. So it's going to be a little while here before we get to see anything new.
Yeah. So I'm just currently doing a little setup in the back. Saha's Hut, we saw it. It was nothing of interest. Agina is probably the cave you're thinking of. It was nothing I can remember. Is the one check left in the game. Although, actually, I just had a thought. Tyler's AFK for a moment. Spike Cave, potentially? I think that's some logic with Cape now, since we have a magic stick extension, both a few bottles and half magic. The half magic is actually half magic. I think the half magic is out of logic, because that was in the U room. But we do have a couple bottles that are in. Point to Death Mountain is out of logic. I just had a thought, Tyler, that beefy, that Light Cave is a check that can be done, though we do not actually have logical Death Mountain access to that. Whoops.
What can be checked that hasn't been done?
Spike Cave.
Oh yeah. No, we don't have logical access to that quite yet. I think the flippers are going to be our progression. That's my guess, just because the mitts open up so much.
Well, the flute there doesn't itself open that much, though flute does get us logical boots, so Bonk Rocks does exist, by the way.
We did check the, we did check Bonk Rocks on Quizbowl's side, and it was nothing. But yeah, what we found up, that's a good point. What we found up in the mountain doesn't actually open anything. So I think that it makes more sense that the flippers leading to the mitts, which leads to the lamp or the flute to get us up the mountain.
Yeah,
I think is more likely.
We do have a limited number of checks available at the moment. Did we
Agina, I'm pretty sure Agina is the only in-logic check that we haven't seen.
Did we see K45?
Oh, no, we haven't. No, I guess we haven't seen K45. Good point.
I was staring at the list of
that might be.
I'm like, haven't seen that.
Where's Liam going?
I have no idea where Liam's
going. He might be going to K45. Actually, this is, I think, a slower way to get there.
I was gonna say, this is not the fastest way to K45.
But yeah, K45 is there. I forgot about that, and Agina, I think, are our only two in logic checks at this point that we haven't seen. Oh, well, no, not in logic from what they should found. Quizbowl's got access to King's Tomb. There are flippers in K45. Liam extremely upset about that. The rage bombs.
Yeah, not pleased. Don't blame him.
So that gets us our mitts. And so if... oh, he's doing the shovel check too. Now, that's interesting because if Liam is looking to stick to logic for the most part, he has not been up the mountain. So every moment that Liam doesn't go up the mountain and find those boots is time saved for Quizbowl.
Yeah. Quizbowl, who tried using the cane on this blind here and got not much of it.
It's tough, but does get through the fight. Did get through the dark basement of Pod, and can now pull the ped. And he is upset about it.
He is. I don't think he's actually done Eastern yet. That's maybe his next step.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Mire and Swamp. Okay, so Swamp's our final red, or rather red crystal. But yeah, Liam is not amused. Well, he knows that Eastern's a so he can, if he wants to, as he goes in, he can pull that down.
At this point, at this point, like you've cleared 2 dungeons, not knowing whether they were crystals. Just and you got 2 pendants out of it. You can't have mitts on ped because mitts are right here.
Yep. But it could be a few different things. Could be either rod could be on
Either
ped.
rod could be there. A lot of stuff could be out there. Either rod, a necessary ether medallion could be there. Flute could be there if lamp is somewhere random. If lamp's in Agina, flute could
available.
Yeah. Before the
least.
Yeah. So lamp could be on probably on Agina, and then flute could be on ped for sure.
Book could be on ped. That would be dumb. The mushroom.
That'd be very dumb. Both of those would be very dumb. Yes.
Mushroom could be there too. If we're discussing record things that could be there. Among various other things that would be nice to have, silvers or a sword would just be rude for Liam right now.
Liam is gonna clean up the waterfall fairy checks. Did not do that before because mirrored over to the Zorda area from Catfish and did not splash delete, so he's just gonna take care of that this way.
Yep.
Gets a free B for his trouble as well. Now, if you're Liam, where do you head next with those mitts?
That's an interesting choice. I think likely the mountain right now, which would make sense. Got a good amount of stuff up there.
I think that's got to be where he's heading here. I'm not sure where else he would be going.
Yeah, so this will be good for
Oh,
him.
no, Smith Chain. He's doing Smith Chain.
Oh, Smith's, yeah, that makes sense. Does have a mirror. Make this a little nicer.
Quiz doing my preferred strat in that room. I hate that damage boost. It's so finicky. If I've got the cape, I just throw on the cape and to hit that switch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's fun to outrun those spears there.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Smith Chain makes sense for Liam. Then if he doesn't find anything, suspect probably the mountain. Not like he has a lot else to really do right now.
I mean, Crystal Ice Palace is full clearable. It's not quite in logic without the hook.
Oh wait, no, I forgot Ice Whips.
But he was right there, and it's really interesting that he's choosing to do a slow Smith Chain over that. Looks like Liam is pretty committed to sticking into logic with the exception of the lamp. And so, again, without the hook shot, there is a bunch of stuff that the whole of ice is not in logic. But with that Bombos medallion and the mitts and the flippers and the hammer and the cane makes it all pretty straightforward. There's our lamp.
There's the lamp.
All right. We're back in logic, folks.
Yay, there's logic, everyone.
What a garbage place for the lamp.
That is pretty bad. Oh, man. You had to get flippers from K40. Yeah, you had
Mirror
to get
in Thieves Town to get flippers in K45, to get the mitts on Lake Hylia Island, to get the lamp on Smith's. It's gross.
Yeah. I was like, Liam, you don't really have anything to chain this purple chest with in the Dark World. Might as well just save quit.
Yeah. That the pet is now in logic. And Quiz is gonna get his third, like, oh my god, I can't believe I just beat a pendant dungeon again here in just a minute after he takes down this Helma in Eastern. Will he just go straight to the pedestal?
If you've gone all the way through all 3 pendants, you might.
May as well, right?
Yeah. Like, if you've gone through all this trouble, may as well see it through to the end. He's not amused particularly. He did talk to Saha earlier to know this was a green pendant, but he
he'll check Saha first, of course.
this is enough now for Liam, as well as a desert ledge check, possibly. Yeah.
Oops, most dungeons. Probably won't be seeing Aga Tower today.
I'd be concerned if we did. We know that there's just a map on the Lumberjacks, and they have full Dark World access.
Yep.
If either of them go to Aga Tower, I'd be very concerned as to what they're doing. Alright, Agino's one of our only other logical checks, and nope, just a Harpies.
So Ice Palace. Ice Palace could be the play for Liam here, but he's going to Sanctuary. He's headed up the mountain with that lamp. Going to be rewarded with the hook shot and the boots up here, and actually is gonna benefit from some from sequencing. We'll be able to check Dark Death Mountain up there because he has the mitts, and Quizbowl still has not picked them up. Doesn't have those flippers on Cave 45. Although I imagine after he pulls Ped here, we'll chain this in with the. No, he doesn't have the mitts yet. But could be headed to Cave 45 after this. That is where he needs to go. But chat, get ready. It's time for Ped. Will we see a rod on here or the flutes?
Answer is
nope.
Nope.
Oh, thanks, Steed. Thanks, game.
So the only thing of real value out of any of the pendants was Master Sword and Half Magic out of Pod.
That feels so bad. Quiz has got to feel so behind here, and he's like a little bit behind, but not a ton.
He's not, because Liam also full cleared Eastern and Pod. Thank you, Diesler, for the 31 for the sub here. Yep, 31 thanks to the sub. Welcome into an interesting seed. As we get to the 1 hour mark here. Happy 1 hour. Oh, that's Hookshot is actually on the Spectacle Rock, in Spectacle Rock, as you just saw. So, shoutouts to our runners here, Quizbowl and Tyler. Quizbowl and Liam, to my co-com Tyler.
my race isn't for several hours yet, so.
No, I just can't read. But shoutouts to our full restream crew, and thanks to everyone in chat as well for watching.
All right, Quizbowl headed into the Dark World here. Gonna get his flippers on Cave 45. What a brutal seed to route.
It's sending them all over the place for everything, yeah.
Like, nothing is in a good order at all.
Who rolled this garbage fire? The runners do roll the seeds for the Challenge Cup. I believe this is a Liam seed. Quiz is rolling their next one later today.
Yeah, these two have a doubleheader today.
Their second will be, I think, 3 Eastern. No, 2
It'll
Eastern.
be their second will be an hour after whenever this one finishes. I believe is the plan. If you're just tuning in, I'm in the same group as these guys, which is why I wanted to make sure that I did comms for this race when I saw that it was being a restream. And so I'm privy to their scheduling discussions, and so their plan is to take about an hour break in between races and then do race number 2.
Yeah, so they have it tentatively booked on the schedule for 2 Eastern, but of course pending how long this actually ends up
this
going.
nonsense, yeah. Which we're an hour in and have a single crystal, so
that says something about how this is going, and Liam doesn't yet know this, I don't think, but he's gonna be really rather disappointed by the pendant here.
Yep. Now I was talking about sequencing a little earlier. Liam is going to be able to do Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny, but Quizbowl is now headed into a full clearable Crystal Swamp Palace, Red Crystal Swamp Palace, as a matter of fact. He doesn't know that it's the Red Crystal yet, and it is Armos here, so it is full clearable. And Liam is going to be able to chain this nicely in to pick up the mitts and, again, do a full clearable Ice Palace. There's the flute sitting there in Swamp. All right, so we're on a rod hunt now. Gonna need the fire rod for sure. I'm gonna need the very likely we'll need the ice rod. At this point, we have not seen a Trinex yet. It is boss shuffle.
We have, however, seen our friendlier bosses. Unfortunately, the pendant bosses were also some of the relatively friendly ones, item-wise.
Yeah, we haven't been into a dungeon with an unbeatable boss yet, which means we've got, we've got an. At this point, we can beat every boss except for Trinex, so it's not too worrisome. But there's also the specter of a Trinex on ice lurking. Everybody's nightmare in a boss shuffle seed is a Trinex in the Ice Armos room with the Ganis Tower Big Key behind it. That fight is maybe the hardest boss fight in the game. Not maybe. That's the hardest boss fight in the game.
It is very difficult.
Oh, and Liam showing us the Harrow basement. We know there is an item down here. When Quizbowl was in Hera, he didn't have a fire source. Still doesn't have a fire source, as a matter of fact. But not able to do the Hera basement without lighting the torches. I still think Bombos should be able to light torches, but, whatever.
I don't think that's quite how that medallion works.
Well, no, I'm just saying it ought to. That's how it ought to work.
Fair.
It's definitely not how it works.
Alright, but yeah, at this point, since we've seen all three pendant bosses, the only way we might have a required Trinex is if the only Trinex is Ice Trinex and it's not required. Because all remaining boss locations are required bosses at this point.
That is true, except for Ice Trinex, yeah. And I believe that was a whole lot of nothing there. No, nobody wants Ice Trinex. Even chat doesn't want Ice Trinex. At least it doesn't when I'm in chat. I've lost 3 league matches to an Ice Trinex, so I never want to see anybody do that.
Yeah, so they would like an Ice Trinex if it's not required, but a required Ice Trinex is no better than a Trinex anywhere else. And of course, this is full boss shuffle. There are 3 bosses that are repeated. We have seen 2 Moldorms, but otherwise no other repeats yet. So there could be more than one Trinex.
I believe the plural of Trinex is Trinaces.
I don't actually know.
Like Matrix, right? Trinaces. Ice Trinex is a Trinex in the Ice Armos room in the Ganis Tower basement, which could be required if the big key is behind it. That is an extremely difficult fight. Half magic helps, but that is probably the hardest thing that this game can ask you to do. It is very difficult. Those guys, those heads move around very quickly. You are on ice. It doesn't care about the ice. It's very difficult to land your rod shots. Once you get a rod shot off, it's very difficult to make it back to the head in order to get your slashes in. If you only have Master Sword, it's even harder because then you have to try to get hammer hits in or even more slashes. So that can be it can be a run killer. I'm just gonna it's that simple.
Yeah, it is not fun.
Like that's a challenging fight for the best runners, I would say.
Yeah. At this point, generally, the big thing we're really missing at this point is that Fire Rod for sure, possibly the Ice Rod.
And probably the Ice Rod at this point, yeah.
Probably. The chances are good that there's at least one Trinex that needs to be beat somewhere. As, fairly decent Armos fight, and no
down to his last arrow, too.
And that's always the fun part about about doing all 3 pendants early and finding accessible bosses on all 3, is that the Trinex being required has just gone up by a lot, the chances of it.
Gets a nice arrow drop there as Liam gets his boots finally. A good, I would say, at least 20 minutes after Quizbowl gets them, and maybe more.
It's very possible, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. That's been a good while. So this is mitts now for Quizbowl. We'll see if he goes ice after this. Liam's gonna open TR, which reminds me that there is some amount of TR accessible, potentially, assuming it's not Ether.
That's true. We can, at a minimum, get 1 check in there as long as we have the medallion. And depending on the key layout, we could make it all the way to Laser Bridge. So,
Laser Bridge with no rod sounds like a fun idea, but
yeah, it's a good time. It is Quake. We could get in there. I imagine Liam is going to check the Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny before getting in there, hoping to get a Fire Rod.
It is not an appealing idea otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, we did just get the flute in Swamp Palace. We haven't activated it yet because Liam, after finishing Swamp Palace, makes sense to head over, get those mitts off of the Lake Hylia Island and head into this full clearable Ice Palace. I say full clearable. Can Trinex be here?
I don't remember offhand, I'll be honest.
I'm gonna pull up those full boss shovel rules.
Nothing much in Super Bunny Cave, just a heart container. One rod on each tablet would be very meany. I think floating on something utterly not memorable, icebreaker chest, is the fire rod. Thanks, game. Fire lock, fire.
Rule of fire. It's always the rule of fire.
Hookshot Cave, turning up our last bottle and not much else. There's a key for quiz.
And Liam is going to be headed into TR, which is probably unfortunate for him here.
Yeah, since we did just see that fire rod on Quiz's side, I hope for Liam's sake he gets fire rod locked out quickly. They could still also have an ether hut. We have not seen the Mire area due to the flute only just showing up. We don't know what that medallion is. And okay.
Luckily for Liam, locked out of Turtle Rock immediately with that big key in the compass chest.
Save quitting to sank. I'm gonna assume this is a King's Tomb check. And
yeah, King's Tomb here. Which is new. We haven't seen King's Tomb yet.
No, we have not.
That ice rod could be just about anywhere. Could be sitting in Misery Mire.
It's not there for either runner, as Quiz
saves and quits.
Finishing ice.
Did he check? He must have had the compass and checked the map. There must be a Trinex there.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
That's the only reason I can think of that he would save and quit out of there.
Yeah, I was like, there's no other reason why Quiz would just quit out of ice. He has full access to the boss, but yeah, if he can't beat it, that would make sense. So confirming we've got an ice shot on our hands. Lovely. I forgot Liam had to check Lumberjack, yes, going to do that makes sense.
On the other hand, Quizbowl is headed to activate his flute.
I suspect this is likely a pedestal check for Liam.
Oh, yeah.
As he has unfortunately also played all 3 pendants, the layout for them was not good today. With the Eastern Pod Hera being the pendants and getting all the items for them quite early, it's quite understandable how these guys ended up doing Oops AD. Unfortunately, Master Sword and Half Magic were about the most valuable things that came out of them.
The Rage Bomb on Ped. He's gonna drop another one too when he sees this is just $20.
Oh, absolutely.
Quizbowl is gonna be doing Skull Woods here.
Makes sense. How's the fire rod? That is a good point. Yeah. Predict bet incoming. Where's this ice rock gone off to?
I think Meyer area is my guess.
Let's see, where do I think this ice route is gonna end up? Laser Bridge, because it always is. Could be here in Skull Woods. There are 2 items left here.
Hell, you know where it could be is the big chest of Swamp Palace, because that big key was in the back, and Quizbowl did not go back in to check it.
That is true, it could be there.
Liam gets his flute in the bombable wall chest, as Quizbowl is headed back towards the Mothula room. Will we see a helicopter today?
We'll find out. It is possible.
Everybody's favorite. We have seen 1 repeated boss already. We've seen 2 Moldorms.
And we did see 1 Helmasaur in Eastern.
Yeah, so odds are low, but it's possible. What do we got? We have a Vanilla Moth.
Womp. Yeah, the ice rod can't be on the ice boss, and it can't be in GT, and that's about it right now.
So it's a normal ice rod hunt, except with Ice Palace standing in for Turtle Rock.
Yep. Mothula's color is looking fairly vanilla as well, because in Boss Shuffle we do get some color shuffle as well, which can be interesting to see. I think Moldorm was a little redder than the usual, and Helmasaur had a nice green helmet today.
That brings Quizbowl up to 3 crystals at 1 hour and 16 minutes.
Yep.
Still doesn't have that lamp from Smith Chain, and very well might not get it. So, pro tip: if you miss flute, you can do a flute dash, and that will allow you to re-flute faster. Picking up a couple blue potions. This is a Meyer play from Quizbowl. You have to imagine.
I'd be more surprised if he didn't, yeah.
Doesn't set up spooky. So could be thinking about doing desert first. Doesn't check the medallion even. Very rude.
Okay. Going to head straight for my shed. Find 3 bombs. Yay, and 3 bombs.
All right, it is Quake for Misery Mire. So Quake for both of our dungeons today, or both of our medallion dungeons today. So we are, in fact, just looking for that ice rod.
And you see Quizbowl do desert here first. And pick up just more bombs there on Desert Ledge, not even bothering, doesn't need to.
Oh, here's another thing. Liam, again, took a significant break from Rando from over the past couple years, so we see him not doing Diver Down here in Swamp Palace. Going to lose a little bit of time to Quizbowl there as well.
Yep, just a heart piece on the Desert Torch, but yeah, don't tend to see this as often. Your vanilla method of doing the swamp chest here. There's the big key. Quiz.
Big question here for Liam is he's about to get the big key here in Waterfall Chest. Will he go back in and check it? My guess is no. That he my guess is he won't. But we'll see.
Good question from chat. Does Liam know Icebreaker?
I mean, Icebreaker and Diver Down were both allowed and discovered more or less at the same time. Like, they were discovered within like days of each other, if I recall correctly, a couple years ago, and they were allowed by the Racing Council at the same time. I remember because I was doing comms for a league race at that moment. When the announcement on Discord came through. And so if Liam doesn't know Diver Down, I think it is fair to assume that he doesn't know Icebreaker.
That's what my thought was as well. So I'll have to lose some time as their Ether on right side desert. Why not, Lou?
So even if Misery Mire had been Ether, the key was under the doormat, as it were. So far, nothing of consequence here in Desert Palace. We'll be able to get a crystal here off of whatever's back here. I guess, unless it's a Trinex. We have not checked. Not sure if... Oh, we do have the compass, so he could check this. But chances are it's something he can beat, so I am okay with not taking that chance there. Oh, that he did check it and it's Argus? Okay, that works too. Liam picking up a little bit of time here and going straight to Mire area.
Argus going down pretty nicely. There's Tempered for Quizbowl.
Yeah, Argus can pause like that as response to something in chat. If you get the last puff late enough that it was about to spin, it will go through the empty spin cycle and then launch. Nice high five there with the mirror. Quizbowl with a solid lead. Still looking for that ice rod, though. Could be a lot of places, but there are but like actually there aren't many places that it could be that are not going to be on Quizbowl's path. So it's hard to see what choices Liam could make at this point that could make up a significant amount of time, and Quizbowl is up a dungeon and a half on him at this point. Two and a half dungeons. Well, we'll call the back of Skull Woods half a dungeon. So he's up 2 dungeons basically.
Mm-hmm.
Another Argus here in Misery Mire. So we've seen one Trinex already. We haven't in Ice Palace spot. We've seen 2 repeats. We've seen 2 Helmas, and we've seen 2 Moldworms. Correct?
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
we've seen 2 Moldorms, now 2 Arguses. We have not seen a Landmos. We haven't seen a Colster, we haven't seen a Vidi.
Yeah. So the chances of Ice Trinex are pretty low at this point, but still definitely possible. It would have to be in that spot, and it would have to be the 3rd of 3 doubled bosses. So, yeah. So the chances of the Ice Trinex are dwindling at this point. But yeah, boots have been a nice big time save for a Quizbowl. He found those out of logic up on the mountain. A good 20 minutes at least before Liam found them. So he's been able to build up a pretty big lead here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's the book. Nice.
Yeah, and like I was saying a bit before, like we've both runners have already done all 3 pendant dungeons. So why is Quiz doing this room? Quiz is looking for a Mire Big Key and looking for an Ice Rod. So no, you've got it backwards, Ken. If there is a key in the compass chest, then the big key has to be in the vanilla big key chest. It is not the other way around. So yeah. Oh, and maybe we already have the big key. It might have been in the bridge chest. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either, I'm afraid.
Now, Quizbowl has a dark mire basement staring him in the face, which is not fun. That lamp was sitting on the smiths, which Quiz has not done yet. And I have to imagine won't. Yeah, Quiz. This is definitely Quiz's game to lose at this point. You know, he's got a sizable dungeon lead at this point. He's up a back of swamp, and most of an ice palace. Not a back of swamp, sorry, a back of skull and most of an ice palace. Liam could potentially save some time. if he checks, if say the ice rod is on Bombo's tablet and he checks that before Cold Stare or before going to Ice Palace, that could save him some time, since we know that he's going to get the book here in Misery Mire.
Ken, we have already confirmed that there is a Trinex in Ice Palace. Maybe.
Yes, so that ice rod is required. And will not be in GT. Oh, as a matter of fact, this is our second Argus. So we've gotten all three. So there will not be an Ice Trinex today. That Trinex in Ice Palace is the only one because this is our second Argus fight. And so we've seen 2 Argai, 2 Moldorms, and 2 Helmas. So no Ice Trinex today. Helma? Didn't we?
My list is Helma in Eastern, Argus in Desert, Moldorm in Hera, a Blind in Pod, Armos in Swamp, Vanilla Moth in Skull Woods, another Moldorm in Thieves, Trinex in Ice, and this Argus. So
okay. I thought we saw 2 Arguses.
We did not. No, we've seen 2 Arguses. We haven't seen 2 Helmas.
I thought. Oh yeah. All right, never mind. We still could see an Ice Trinex. We still haven't seen
Thieves in Hera.
We still haven't seen a. We still haven't seen a Vidi yet or a Cold Stare. So
Vidi, Cold Stare, Landros are the missing ones.
Yeah. Which. Yeah.
Who knows what the plural of Argus is?
Depends on whether it's Greek or Latin, I think. Because if it's like octopus, which the plural is octopodes, argopodes maybe? Argopodes? Argodes?
Language is hard.
So you think it's octopi, but it's not. Octopodes are octopodes. Octopodes.
Right, because that would be a Greek word, and Latin is the one that uses the I. There's a burner on the ether tablet. They definitely don't need that. I don't think any of either March ever actually checked Spike Cave. This is Steve's Terra basement for Quiz.
I think Liam checked Spike Cave, but Quiz hasn't.
Okay. No, you know, Liam did. Whoops. Argus was the name of Hera's peacock. Interesting. And I have no idea what octopus would be as far as the questions go in Latin, because my knowledge of Latin is very limited.
Veni Vidi Vici.
The languages I do speak are I'm fluent in English, fairly fluent in Mandarin, fairly fluent in French.
I can say I'm a pencil in about 9 languages, but that's about it.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, the real answer is we don't actually know, so it's fine.
I mean, it is technically a made-up name for a video game. Argus, the plural of Argus, whatever you want it to be. Alright, that's Meyer done for Liam.
So, Quizbowl giving some time back here to Liam. but will be able to go further into Turtle Rock here. So if that ice rod is sitting on Laser Bridge, then which I believe Quiz did not show us Bombo's tablet, which is probably where Liam is heading right now.
Bombo's tablet, possibly Pyramid Fairy, because that was the second red crystal on Meyer.
That's true too. So Liam is going to show us that. Quizbowl has not done that. Maybe doesn't know that Swamp is the other red crystal.
Looking at his personal tracker, he does, because you can see that on the Restream side.
Yeah.
He does not have a second red crystal marked, because this guy never spoke to the Bomb Shop. And
using Quick Swap has not really opened his menu.
No.
So.
Right,
Ooh,
Bombo's
Sankart.
tablet was Sankart, yeah. And that's the other thing too, what boss have we gotten collect with today in TR? Could be a repeat, could be any of the 3 bosses we haven't seen. This is,
Alright, this is
the big bomb.
This is a critical moment right here. Liam doing Pyramid Fairy before going into Ice Palace. His Ice Palace has been wide open to him for quite a while. If this is the Ice Rod, he will be able to single dip Ice Palace. And that will make this a big, could be a big swing here. We see our Landmo in Turtle Rock, thanks to that map check from Quizbowl. But if the Ice Rod is right here in Pyramid Fairy, that is the big out here for Liam. That will put him in go mode. Well, not quite. He's still looking for that Fire Rod, but Ice Palace is the obvious next play for him.
And he'll find this Fire Rod in there, we know.
Right.
Alright, verdict is Compass to GT and a
Ooh. So that Ice Rod is most likely sitting, as a matter of fact, like the Ice Rod or something leading to the Ice Rod, I think has to be here in TR. There is nowhere else in logic for it to be.
No, just nowhere else in logic, nowhere else period, I think. Because it's not GT and it's not the Ice Palace boss. I think we've seen all Overworld and we've seen the other dungeons, so that is just that here in TR. Plus, well, technically Mimic Cave, but that's basically part of TR.
Yeah, that counts as TR.
And this is as expected, the ice play for Liam.
Yeah, so at this point, I don't really see an out for Liam. I think that Quizbowl has this solidly in hand, which, you know, anything can happen, really. I'm not going to call this race over, but at this point, this is absolutely Quizbowl's race to lose, and something pretty drastic, I think, would have to happen in order for him to lose this race. He has this well in hand at this point.
Yeah, got a pretty considerable lead here. Especially, we'll find out for certain whether or not Liam knows Icebreaker, though I suspect probably not if he doesn't know Diver Down as previously discussed. Mama chest here is Bugnet, thanks.
Now we're in go mode. We have the Bugnet. Unless it's Big Chest Swamp. That's a good point. Thank you to Charlie to Strike in chat. Neither of our runners has checked the Big Chest of Swamp. That the Big Key of Swamp was in Waterfall Chest, and both of them left the Big Chest. So Ice Rod could still be there. But, like, so if Liam goes there right after Ice Palace for some reason, that could work out really well for him. However, he's going to find the Fire Rod in here, which is going to bring him to Skull Woods, and frankly, probably to TR before checking the Big Chest of Swamp. So I think that Quizbowl probably still in control if that's the case.
I would think so. Time for Mimic Cave here. Liam is setting up the Ice Palace bomb jump. Very nice.
Very clean.
And Mimicade is not the answer. Very quick pen gators, nice for Liam.
So if the Ice Rod isn't here in TR, then Quizbowl is going to go check Smith Chain first, I would imagine. Oh, there's a mushroom. Probably going to turn that in first if the Ice Rod isn't here. We can see
Catfish.
We can see his face, and he's just like, oh, man, looking for that. So
he's like, really, Gabe?
Liam routing this very interestingly, going to, didn't find a key.
There's Gold Sword.
There's our Gold Sword. Didn't find a key, and so decided to, instead of going to the right side first, go straight down to the big chest, or goes straight down to Freezer Room, has to skip the big chest. This is not, if you don't have a key here in Ice Palace and don't do Icebreaker, you have to do the bomb jump for whatever. I think the optimal route is to, in the big spike room, go north first, drop down, and then go to the east, go right, and head over to the right side first to maximize the chances that you're going to find the big key before you head over to the area of the big chest. And so to full clear this, Liam's going to have to do a bunch of running around. We had Quiz had the boots significantly earlier than Liam did, and his routing has been in general quite a bit cleaner. So Quizbowl in control in this race, which is going to put him in control of Group B as well. He's already in first place in Group B, is 2-1, and this is going to drop Liam, I think, to 1-3.
No, this is 2 and 3 for Liam.
2 and 3 for Liam, yeah, okay, because he split with
3-1 for Quiz, 2-1.
There's our Ice Rod
Liam.
On there Laser Bridge. You nailed it, Star. That was your guess.
Alright, and with that, by the way, we have seen every single major item in the game today that is trackable on the tracker, except for, I think, the boomerangs.
Oh, rip the boomerangs.
So I'm the premium bit, regular bit, Mimic Cave is the closest that was getting, so there we go. Still undecided, still not confirmed for this group, but Quiz is at 3-1 now, Liam at 2-3, D-Spags is at 2-2, and then you here are at 1-2.
Yep. These two have their second race a little bit later tonight, or about an hour after this race goes. D-Spags and Ian are racing a little bit later today, and I still have one more race with Quizbowl to schedule as well.
Yep. So, gonna be interesting to see, because these two do race each other later today in at about an hour after this one wraps up, basically. So if Quiz takes that one, he definitely secures a ticket to brackets. If he loses that one, this group remains an absolute toss-up.
An absolute nightmare, this group. Yeah, it's fine. We are all four of us are pretty evenly matched. All of our races have been pretty close, or down to, if they weren't like close in time, they've been down to like one decision or another, as Liam finds that Trinex there in Ice Palace and nopes out. But yeah, Quizbowl is in go mode at this point, is headed back into Ice Palace to kill this Trinex, and is headed up to GT thereafter.
Yep, and there's the brackets link. Took me a couple tries. So, yep, top 2 go to brackets. Quite a number of people have already punched their tickets to brackets in a variety of groups, but this group is in fact the one with the most undecided factors right now. Quiz has cleared it up a little bit by taking what looks to be will be a win here, but it is this curve can still be a mess.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know, like I said, we were this race is very close. skill-wise, Quizbowl in first place in the group and me in last place of the group. Our race was very close. I actually I did something extremely smart and then did something extremely stupid in that race and threw away a lead. So Quiz beat me, and I don't want to take that away from him, but it very easily could have gone the other way. And so all four of us are, I think, very, very close in skill level. It's gonna be really interesting to see who comes out of this group.
Mm-hmm.
Nice icebreaker there from Quizbowl on the second try. So we're gonna have a cold stare, a Trinex, or we're gonna have a cold stare and a Vidi for sure in GT here.
Yeah.
And one more repeat. Yeah.
Yeah, the repeat can't be Moldorm and it can't be Argus. It could be any of the others.
What?
Actually,
what an eyesore there.
Yes, it's kind of bad, yeah.
You were about to ask if Cold Stare can be in the Moldorm 2 spot, and yes, Cold Stare can be there, and so can Vidi.
Okay. I know Vidi can. I wasn't sure about Cold Stare. Just checking, since there are some restrictions on rooms.
Yeah, so I would imagine, given what we've got left, the odds are that Moldorm 2 is going to be a Cold Stare or a Vidi, because that particular arena does not have a ton of. That's probably the most, along with Skull Woods, that's the most constrained. Those are the most constrained locations about what can actually be there, and so I would imagine that we're going to see a Cold Stare or a Vidi up there in Moldorm 2, and at this point. An Ice Trinex is the thing that both these runners have on the top of their mind as a... Oh, man, that was really close to a dead rock for Quizbowl.
Yeah, Ice Trinex has got to be on both their minds. They're really hoping that they don't need to do it, because there's a decent chance there is a non-zero chance that is an Ice Trinex up there.
Oh, and we should, by the way, we have a big key guessing game going on here, or we should at least.
We do. Quick guess in chat, where there are 21 chests and 1 torch in the basement of Gan's Tower. Where is the big key? Just gonna do a casual one, put a number in chat. I'm gonna guess 17.
9 is the most random number, so I'm going with 9.
See, Link the Past can guess the classic 22.
So rude.
Has everything for the fish out the gate here. Has 16 heart containers, gold swords, silvers, all the safeties.
And it's
Check
1.
Number 1 is the key.
1. Congratulations to DH Stom.
You win.
We will never know if there was an Ice Trinex in this seed.
Yeah, we will not.
Yep.
Where's
So Quiz is
Quizbowl?
going to run
Oh,
over here
freaking-
to get a key. Yeah.
I had a minor brain fart, but yeah, just was a heart contained on the torch. But yeah, it does say something about the scene that they have gotten 16 and 15 hearts respectively. Generally, the more hearts you have, the more checks you've done, because it takes a lot of checks to get a great deal of heart pieces.
Weird to hear the pendant music in GT, always. With Mirror Shield, remembering the Mirror Shield blocks those Garaya mimic fireballs, so doesn't have to do weirdness there with those mimic rooms. Ooh, adding insult to injury, not only gets knocked off the bridge, but takes a 1.0 hit as well.
Yeah. And we've got a video here. So, cold stare, that might.
Almost certainly a cold stare.
I was going to say, because I don't know if any of our remaining bosses that could be repeats could be up there. I guess we could get a second cold stare up top.
Could get a second video up there, yeah.
Or a second video. Can we get another Helmasaur up there?
Sure, yep.
We have seen both Moldorms. I don't think we can get the Blind or Armos Knights up there.
Yeah, you can't get Blind or Armos Knights up there, so it's almost certainly a cold stare. Can't get Landmo up there. I don't think you can get Argus up there. Maybe. Never seen an Argus up there.
We've already seen two Arguses anyway.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah. So, yeah, you can get a Moth up there. So it could be a Moth, could be. But I think another cold stare seems like our first cold stare seems like the most likely thing.
Yeah. Cold stare are one of a handful of repeats possible. Because the Ice Armos room can have almost anything, I think.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that can be in there. Liam about to get the good news about the Ice Rod here.
There it is. Don't die, Quiz. Going to open the chest here, hoping for a health refill. Well, a heart piece, unfortunately, is not it.
You got powder, though. You're gonna get a health refill in the next room.
Alright, and verdict is, hey, you got another Helmasaur!
What? This is a rude place to have Helma. This is not a fun fight. There's not a ton of room in front of him. You gotta, yeah, bombs might be the answer. You gotta go at him from the side. This is a tough place for Helma.
It is. Also, minor graphical glitch.
Yeah, Helma's real big.
He's a little bit too big for this arena.
He's a chonky boy.
And unfortunately, these bombs are missing. Telvasaur does not want to stay still.
One more should do it, and he's down to his last bomb. There it is.
There we go. Do sideways arrow shots work?
I don't know. Maybe.
He's having a hard time.
Might be his best shot, though.
It's not a bad idea to try, but I don't think it's working. Although it's hard to say because Helm is moving too much to have good aim.
There you go. Just switch to the... Yeah, good call. There you go.
Yeah, so our only cold stare of the seed had to have been on Ice Armor's room. Next game.
Not sure why Quiz is opening that chest, but, you know. Oh, he's looking for... No, he has silvers.
I was gonna say, he has gold sword silvers, 16 heart containers, cape, burna, half magic. He is everything he could want for Ganon except for red mail, and he doesn't need it. Probably wouldn't be, yeah.
Alright, we are in phase 2 for a Quizbowl in this Ganon fight. Or phase 3, rather, now. Ooh. Misses that first silver arrow. Not too worried about torch glitch with silvers. It's a nice double there. Ooh, that Ganon hitbox is big, but it's not that big. Taking it nice and slow. There's arrow 3. And that is going to do it. Quizbowl is going to be the winner of this match. Get your GGs in chat for Quizbowl. Going to 3-1 in Group B.
GG's. 156-43. He is pleasantly surprised by that, I think.
Yes, he is. Emphasis on surprised, I think. We can see his face on the restream feed, and he is flabbergasted that he won this race. But GG's to Quizbowl.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at his facial expression. GG's. We will get him in for an interview in just a moment. Switching audio sources, and here he is. GG's, Quizbowl.
GG's. Oh man.
How did you feel about this one? We can see your face on the restream, and so we saw just how surprised you were when you did.
I was 100% convinced I was getting fanfare sniped. Because I felt terrible about that the whole way through. Man, that was But we made it. I don't know why I do this to myself. Why I leave the race room open while I'm climbing and finishing.
Oh
off.
God! Why do you do that to yourself?
I don't know. I have to know though. That's the oh gosh.
Oh man. So you're saying that you felt pretty far behind for.
Yes.
Oh no! You said you thought you were gonna get sniped, but you thought you were pretty far behind for.
Well,
the whole
yes,
race.
I felt like I was playing from behind, and it was just some weird thing that Liam was doing that was just making him slightly ahead of me the whole way. So I mean, it was going to be close. It's like I look at the timer and I'm thinking, well, at least I made it to Turtle Rock without being .done. Oh, at least I made it to GT without being .done. Oh, at least I made it to the climb without being .done. Like I do that the entire way through. So, like I was convinced I was losing this race. So, man. But looking back at the restream, it looks like Liam was having a hard time too, just finding stuff. Where was that lamp?
Lamp was on
Smith
Smith's.
chain.
The Smith chain. Okay.
And the Smiths themselves had the lamp.
It
It ended up just being I think your routing ended up just being a little bit cleaner than Liam's, and then your execution was a little bit stronger, and just like the way that the sequencing worked, I think the key was your play to go up the mountain out of logic, getting you the hook shot early, and so you were able to get into swamp earlier than Liam, which put you on the path. So I think that ended up being the big play for you, was that sequence break up the mountain. Both of you did all 3 pendants because they were so early on. Both of you pulled ped for nothing, so like I'm sure that made you feel bad, but it ended up not being a big deal because both of you did it.
Yeah. So what really like the first thing that really kind of bothered me. I guess the very first thing that really bothered me is I took a death in the mini Moldorm cave, which was kind of
that's
irritating.
always tilting. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so that kind of sets you off at the beginning of it. But those late flippers really really messed with me because it was just after I had gone. Because we had early Dark World access, I went straight straight to Hype Cave, and then went over to Dig Games. So I kind of orphaned that Cave 45 location. Found Mirror later on, and so that became one of the I don't think it was the last location, but it was probably 2 or 3 items out from being the last location I could do. But and then I knew that I'd seen the mitts over there on the island before, so of course mitts open up a good portion of the thing, and was happy to be able to use the compasses to my advantage and figure out that it was a Trinex down there at Ice Palace, and I found the fire rod in there. I thought that was a pretty cool find, and I was like,
Rule of fire, man. Rule of fire. You've got Bombos.
Pieces there
you
too.
Still haven't done Ice Palace, So fire rod's an Ice Palace, obviously.
Yeah, but I was hoping for that ice rod, but classic Turtle Rock. It's always on Lagel Bridge, even when there's not a Trinex behind it.
Yep.
So you got to be feeling pretty good here, sitting at 3-1 in our still very wide open group.
Exactly.
I
gotta say. So 3 is kind of like the bare minimum for moving on. So I've at least got a shot now. So we'll see what the second race brings. We're looking at our cards here. What modes we can draw. Probably the most likely thing to happen is going to be one of those tournament hard qualifier seeds.
Because we haven't had I haven't had one of those yet. You and I had inverted keys the other day, and then Liam and I have had what did we have? Liam and I had Nick Boss. We had this mode in our second race, and we had inverted keys. We had
Yeah. Oh, actually, I'm looking at it tells you how many cards you had at the moment you rolled, and so at the moment that this one was rolled, we had 4 tournament hard, 2 tournament keys. Or 3 tournament keys.
Ambrosia. That was Liam's and I's first race.
Right. So there's no chance for Ambrosia, and there's no chance for this mode again. It has to be either the tournament hard, inverted key sanity, or key sanity. So looks like I better keep my key sanity tracker up.
I was going to say, what are you hoping for?
I'm not a big fan of that tournament hard. I love having mail.
Yeah.
but then my alternates are key sanity modes, which are great. I think I've gotten to appreciate inverted key sanity a little bit. Even though it is a little bit of hard of a start, it's a hard start for everybody.
Yeah.
So if you can just kind of get after that, it's Inverted Key Sanity is 30 minutes of sheer terror followed by the first 10 minutes of every other seed you do, because then you go to
Right,
CAC
yeah.
and then you go to all the other places that have all the items.
Yep.
This is the only inverted keys like this with a flute start, I think, is the only way I will ever play inverted ever again.
Yes, that flute start is also another great addition that they made to it.
Mm-hmm.
So we you and I still need to schedule our second race. Our first race ended up being not close in time. Or no, it was close in time, but I did make a pretty serious error there. So it very easily could have gone the other way. So we still have one race to schedule. We'll see. We'll try to get that on the schedule for at some point in this next week. But you gotta be feeling pretty good about your chances here.
Yeah, feeling pretty good. I was saying this all along. The group that we're in, me, you, D-Spags, and Liam, we are four relatively good runners, and we all got lumped in this group together. And so maximum chaos available here, because
a tiebreaker still very much in the cards in this race for sure.
Oh, for sure.
So my race, I haven't raced D-Spags at all yet, and he and I think have our first race this evening. So that will either clarify or muddy things up significantly. If I can manage to win that race, then this group is wide open. So.
All right. Well, good luck in that. We'll hope for the maximum chaos in that regard, and try and mess with Ridley as much as possible before the bracket.
We do, in fact, see D-Spags, the final member of this group in chat. There are indeed plenty of good races in this group.
All right, GG's Quizbowl. Get some lunch. And good luck. Good luck in race 2 here in a little bit.
Thank you very much. We'll look forward to it. And thanks again for the restream. I really appreciate you guys putting this on.
Our pleasure. We'll watch Liam finish out this seed here. I think, Star, we got time to watch Liam finish here?
Oh yeah, we do. Our next race isn't for a little bit. We don't have to rush off. Only got a couple minutes left here anyhow. It does look like Liam never did actually get those silvers off Laser Bridge, just didn't end up opening that chest since it was after Ice routed the way he routed the Laser Bridge, so slightly longer getting, but still it won't be an issue.
Gold Sword, Blue Mail, half magic, you're fine. You even got Cape if you need to.
Yep. 166 out of 216 collection rate, pretty high here for Quiz, kind of to be expected with how much these guys did in this seed.
Pro tip, Gold Sword spins are equivalent to Gold Sword slashes. So don't bother spinning on Ganon if you've got the Gold Sword.
Yep, you can just flash it. It's a little faster than revving up the spins.
Oh god!
Liam! Don't die, please.
I've got an emote for that, there you go.
Yes you do. Nice.
Bonka S. That's gotta feel bad. He knows exactly where those arrows are.
Yeah.
Alright, that's 2 hits. Need 12. On just 3 hearts. Ganon cooperating here, setting up for a top-bottom-top triple. Nice timing. Should get... Oh, just missed that. That was really close. Gonna have to settle for a double here. Oh, just a single. Maybe the fire rod was a little late. A little early, rather. This should be another triple. This one's going to be close. Nope, not going to get that hit. There it is, though. Get your GGs in chat for Liam.
GG's. Going to cross the bridge and finish up the seed with an official time of 2:07:38. GG.
GG's to Liam. And that is going to be it for us. Liam is skipping an interview, needs to get some food before before their next race here in a little bit. And so that's going to do it for us. Star, a pleasure to work with you as always.
Of course, always a fun time. Thank you for co-commenting with me, especially as I know that this was an earlier race for you.
I couldn't miss this one. Thank you again to our tracker, Siberian, as well.
Yep. So give our runners a follow, Quizbowl and Liam Atlas, to my co-com Tyler Saw, and to our tracker, Siberian. It was a great time. Thank you for watching all. So, let's see. Coming up ahead on the ZSR schedule, as we are going to go over and rate our sister channel ZSR2. They are currently restreaming the Majora's Mask Randomizer weekly race. I believe that is a mystery seed. We'll have on this channel in about an hour, 50 minutes, we'll have a Skyward Sword Randomizer co-op tournament group stage match between the German Bingo Lords versus Ragtag Yag. At the same time on ZSR3, we'll have another Challenge Cup match, Group O, between Captain 1977 versus Link to the Past Ken. And as previously discussed, if you guys want to watch Game 2, the second game between these guys in the Challenge Cup, feel free to check out their personal channels in about an hour or so. We will, and to wrap up the day at 3 Eastern over on ZSR4, we will have the Wind Waker Randomizer bi-weekly fun race. Tomorrow we will also have one more Challenge Cup match, Group N, between Yobola Koala and Super Random Brothers. Plenty more to come, so keep an eye out on the schedule, and thanks for watching all. That'll be it for us, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good day, everybody.